Amaryllis. In this video, I try to prepare my amaryllis bulb for reblooming. I'm preparing my amaryllis for rebloom by repotting them to new container. I usually repot my amaryllis bulb in February. This is done due to they tend to bloom in late March or early April in my climate. I also remove their leaf before start repotting them. I also didn't trim their root when trying to repotting my amaryllis. I grow my amaryllis in tropical climate. After repotting, I give a very light sprinkle of water. My maximum temperature when growing amaryllis is 32 degrees Celsius. My minimum temperature when growing amaryllis is 23 degrees Celsius. My average humidity when growing amaryllis are about 87%. For me, minimum soil temperature for growing amaryllis are about 20 degrees Celsius. Since amaryllis are a tropical climate plant, they cannot survive cold weather. In cooler climate, for amaryllis to bloom again, they needs proper care in the fall time. When your climate reached to 10 degrees Celsius, brought them indoors to protect them from frost. Since at this time, we want the plants to go dormant by storing them at a temperature of 10 to 13 degrees Celsius. To induce dormancy, we also need to place the plants in a cool, semi-dark location and withhold water. You also need to cut off the foliage when the leaves turn brown. This process will take for at least 8 to 10 weeks. After the cool requirement has been met, start the growth cycle again by watering the bulbs and placing them in a well-lighted room, at least 21 degrees Celsius. Keep the potting soil moist, but not wet, until new growth appears. As soon as the last frost of the year is finished, move the plant outside to a sunny location. For this growing season, on average my water usage are about 200 milliliters. Water usage depend on container size, container type, weather, and climate you live in. Overwatering will promote root rot. Finally, the main bulbs start to show some growth. It is too early to tell if these are new leaves or flower stalks. Amaryllis plants sometimes fail to bloom. This can be caused by a number of factors like overwatering, too much shade, which reduces the plant's ability to manufacture food and results in loss of vigor. Too rich a soil, too much nitrogen fertilizer, and viral infections. It is a flower stalks. You can identify them by cut in the middle. Container size I use for growing amaryllis, height 23 centimeters, width 29 centimeters. You also can grow amaryllis in bigger container than mine. The bigger the container, the bigger root system will develop and will resulting larger bulbs and produce more offsets. The larger the bulb, the larger the flowers they will produce. Large bulbs also typically produce more flower stalks. For me, the advantage for growing in container is gives me more control over sunlight, moisture, and temperature. Soil I use for growing amaryllis contain cocoa peat, red burn soil, micro, fine sand, old humus, and charcoal. You can use whatever growing media available to your convenience. As long as you use well-drained soil to grow amaryllis, you will be fine. Also, if you can, please make sure that your growing media are sterilized and clean. By choosing sterilized and clean growing media, we'll minimize the bulbs becoming infected from disease-causing pathogens. Using waterlogged soil like clay for growing amaryllis will promote root rot. Soil pH for growing amaryllis, 6 to 6.5 pH. Day 40. Early in the morning, flowers begin to bloom. Afternoon, full bloom. My soil pH when I try to grow amaryllis are about 7 pH. When growing my amaryllis, I use liquid fertilizer. I use fertilizer on my amaryllis every 4 weeks. You can use whatever fertilizer available to your convenience. Please read and follow the instructions carefully before starting using any fertilizers. Trying to pollinate amaryllis to produce seeds. Last flower to bloom. Full bloom in the evening. Not all amaryllis can produce seeds, and some may produce seeds that will abort or be sterile. Manual pollinated fail to produce any seed pods. If flower has been successfully pollinated, seed pods will mature within 4 to 5 weeks. You need to pick the pods as soon as they turn yellow and split open. Amaryllis also can be propagated by offsets or cuttage. Amaryllis are also commercially propagated through tissue culture. Amaryllis lifespan in my climate is perennial. Time to remove flower stalks. I usually done this in early morning. Day 66. New leaf growth for next flower season. Thank you for watching.